Hi, this is Damien Marie AtHope, and I am an Axiological Atheist. And I'm here interviewing Frank Flyman. So go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself, Frank, and then I would like to know a little bit also about, did you start with belief?
My grandfather was actually a Baptist minister.
Okay.
He had two churches. I was a bit grown up in it. In my late teens and early 20s, I went born believer, but that didn't last long. Didn't match up, right?
So when you say born believer, was that the Baptist faith?
Yeah. And,
so you were a Baptist? So is that a Southern Baptist? I'm not very familiar with Baptist. Was it, or is it Northern because it was up here? Or
yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that? Because I don't really know anything about it.
It's not such
So how do you see it as different than a standard normal Christian?
They just preach the Bible, their interpretations, and there's no real hate speech like a lot of churches do. But the stories just didn't match up. They're unbelievable.
Yeah. So is that how you came to unbelief?
Yeah. I just kind of grew out of it, and about 4 years ago, I didn't know anything about atheism, like non-belief and that, and I saw someone post something on Facebook.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and bang, I like, what is this? This is, I can relate to it, right?
Right.
So, bang, that's what it just took off. I went full force.
So 4 years ago is when you finalized being an atheist? Or?
Yeah, and then I started studying it more into humanism.
And how did that happen?
Just YouTube, Facebook, internet, and
what about the YouTube or the internet made you think of humanism?
Watching other people talk about it, and I never knew anything about that stuff.
What is the one thing that they said that impressed you?
About helping our mankind, and and trust in science, and that we don't need a higher power to be a good person. And,
so do you consider yourself a good person?
Oh yes.
And how do you define that?
It's just something I've been brought up like. I don't want to kill someone.
But you do some humanist things. Do you attribute those things as also being part of you being a humanist?
Yes. I feed the homeless. Like Christmas Eve, there we'll be feeding about 700 people on Christmas Eve, and we make sandwiches at deli, and then we take it down to Vancouver and distribute them, and that's a great feeling. People walk up to you in tears thanking you,
But you do this not just for Christmas. You do this all year round for you, right?
Every couple weeks, yeah. I like to do it more, but it'll grow. More people, help out, and that's what we need.
No, I agree. I know that I told you that I was more. I had some humanist thinking, but I didn't really think about doing active humanist actions, and seeing you doing stuff for the homeless impressed me, and that's why some people tell me, why do I post pictures of like doing helpful things? Because that's exactly, you doing that is what impressed me to want to do that.
Yeah.
So I think it's a really an impactful thing, like you said. In fact, how did you almost become an atheist? This was because of Facebook. So I think that it feels like to me a lot of people discount like it's not doing anything or it's not beneficial, but you and me are living proof that that's actually not true.
Yeah, yeah.
So how would you express your unbelief? How does it feel to you personally?
Oh, I look the world way better. I expect limits, and there's just more out there than believing a myth and fairy tale, right?
Yeah.
You know, that's more odd to me, you know.
Yeah. You're doing good. So, how does it person like? So, what is your belief stance, your disbelief stance, or just your opinion about who you are as an unbeliever?
Repeat that.
Well, in other words, what I'm saying is, I'm not trying to lead you to a specific way. I'm saying, how do you express your unbelief? For me, I'm an axiological atheist.
Yeah.
And that has, for me, strong disbelief. I am an anti-theist and an anti-religionist, and also strong humanism. I believe in also strong secularism.
Yeah.
That even religions have a right for people that want to do that, have the right to do it. I would never take away or remove rights from people.
Yeah.
I believe that I want to enlighten them and give them, the opportunity to see the truth and then choose it, but I would never force someone.
Yeah.
So
I'm basically the same way. A strong atheist humanist as well. The only time I'm what do you call it? Strong in my atheism is online. Being in Canada, you don't really have to, spread it out here as much. It's not really. Religion isn't quite forced out in Canada as much.
So explain that.
Alberta's a little different.
Yeah. We'll explain that because I'm being very.
Alberta is our Bible Belt of Canada.
Didn't even know that.
Yeah, it's very strong.
So all of Alberta, or is it just like Edmonton or a specific
Calgary,
area?
Edmonton, a place like that. Yeah, they got their areas that are really strong.
So, I coming from obviously the United States.
Yeah.
And I've lived in Savannah, Georgia, and I've lived in Texas, and I've also lived in North Carolina, but I've also lived in California, and even Southern California has a very strong conservative and radical Christian, especially creationists saying that we're 6,000 years old.
Yeah, see, we don't get that here.
So I'm saying, so I will say.
I've never even heard of that before until the internet. Like, oh.
Well, as I'm saying, so when you say, I'm just trying to understand and help the viewers to understand that when you say Alberta can you explain what that means for Canada? Because I don't.
Parts of Alberta, they do have a southern Bible teaching, like in the southern areas. It's strong over there. Like they do faith healing and stuff like that. It gets that bad. It wasn't that long ago, a few days ago, one child died of parents starved a child there.
Do they do the rattlesnake stuff up here too?
No rattlesnakes.
But still, doing something to endanger a child is that's to me.
Horrible.
To me, let me clarify. When I say that I wouldn't stop someone from having their beliefs, I do not believe that extends to their children.
Yeah.
I do not think that the child should have to make a choice any more than a child should pick a political party. I think that this is something that should happen after a person is 18.
Yeah.
I think a parent has a right to say their views, but I don't think you should force a child to church. I don't think you should be forcing a child to choose faith healing over real healing, like, science.
Yeah.
So I agree. When I say that people have rights, adults have rights. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Children should be protected.
Yeah. That's right.
So I'm gonna say, because sometimes when I say that, people assume that when I say I mean adults. Adults can make choices. Children should be protected.
Yeah.
Just like I know you're very big on supporting child, welfare.
Yeah.
So explain how that relates for you, because I do see you post a lot of stuff about child welfare, which I totally connect to.
Yeah, a lot of mine is I just try to make people see the harm in religion online and what that belief can do and to harm children and stuff like that.
So can you give like one instance or an idea that you're trying to say about how it harms children for people that maybe don't know what you post or? Well, so what's one thing off the top of your head that you can think of that you post that has to do with children being harmed by religion or religion being harmed?
Oh, the case of like Jesus camp.
Yeah.
That's just hard. Every time I see that, it just brings a tear to my eye.
What is Jesus camp?
Maybe you can explain.
Well, it's in the United States, I believe.
I'm
not super.
Actually, Canada has a version.
Oh, they do.
Of Jesus camp too.
Yeah, I'm not super affluent with what exactly Jesus camp is. I know.
It's a
reference what you're talking about.
Yeah, I think they're evangelicus religion.
Because you said it made you cry.
Well, they just put the scare of religion into children, and it's just heartbreaking. And the kids are more scared than anything else.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen ones where the children are crying and falling down and stuff, and they're like 4 or 5 years old, and they're in the church crying and falling. That's just ridiculous. The trauma that the kids.
And the kids don't understand that.
No, and so I really like that you address.
Yeah.
Because I think that. Even if, in a sense, if religion was harm for people that was only adults, it wouldn't bother me as much. I would still always speak the truth. Mm-hmm. But I agree, definitely the kid issue.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, what is it you would like to keep doing? Just Facebook, or is there any other goals you have?
I think there's New Year's coming up. I think I want to get some more into. They got the Canadian Humanist Society. I want to get more involved in that. And
is that a meetup group, or is that like a
they
online?
they had meetings and stuff like that. They get together and do human rights stuff like that. I want to get more into that.
What kind of human rights relates for you personally?
I get help the LGBT and if religion is pushed on people in different communities, like in politics and stuff, and most of my fights I do are for I see all the American religion hate and stuff like that that goes on there, and I like to I help that out quite a bit online.
So you're like an international atheist, and the fact
right.
that you're so is the LGBT issue a big fight here, or is it you're doing it for other places?
It's not a big fight here. This is Vancouver. It's
well, I don't know that much about Vancouver. Like, you have to tell us. Yeah, what's Vancouver like?
It's kind of it's really a secular city, really. Multicultural. LGBT. It's a big thing here. Like they have a lot of rights here, and it's almost like San Francisco.
So if there's anyone who doesn't know, LGBT is lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender.
Yes.
In case if someone doesn't know what that means.
Yeah. There's not much.
So and there's a big convention coming up that I'm actually going to, the Imagine 5.
Imagine No Religion 5. That'll be held in Richmond in June. What was it again? June 5th. Yes. Of next year.
Right.
Yeah.
And are you going to be able to attend that? Or
yes, I will.
Right on.
I'm not missing that.
Well, I hope I see you there.
Yeah.
So
there's some great speakers, supposedly.
Right on.
Yeah.
Have you gone to any other conventions?
No, this will be my first one. Yeah.
I thought it was my first one, but I realized it's actually my second one.
Was it?
My first one was a Secular Humanist conference in San Diego. I forgot I went there because I went there because of my friend Margaret Downey. She was going to be speaking, so I didn't really go for the convention. I just went to hear her. So then I told someone, well, this will be my first convention. And they're like, you've been to a convention before? I saw you there. And I was like, oh yeah, that's right.
I would have loved to go on the one in Washington.
Yeah, when was that?
The big one there. It was, what was it, 2010 or something? The big Reason Rally. The Reason Rally. That was, what was it, 10,000 secular people showed up.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Too bad. Now's where I live. They need to do that again.
Yeah. Washington, D.C.
Oh, Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we said Washington. I was thinking Washington State. I was like, oh, man. No, Washington, D.C. Yeah, I'd probably go to that one, too, yes.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying there was another one in Washington State.
Oh.
Because that's where I just came up from. But, yeah. Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Yeah.
So is there any thing else that you want to tell people?
Not off my hand right now.
To say hi to all your Facebook friends.
Hello, Facebook friends.
Hey! The famous Frank.
I'm not very good on camera.
It's a judgment about what's good, right?
In June, I'll be better. I'll be speaking.
You define. Is there any questions you would like to ask me, or are you ready to?
I'm ready.
All right, you turn off.